Hurricane Ian and Hurricane Nicole both brought severe damage, but in any storm, we can see significant damage coming from storm surge, especially during times of high tide. First Alert meteorologist Chelsea Ambrose gives us a closer look at that.
Well, we saw some extreme beach erosion from Ian and from Nicole in Florida, and we are experiencing the extremes of that because of the rising sea levels that we're experiencing. Annually, the coastal areas are receding at about 25 feet. And so what we're seeing is the higher tides, the normal tides, they're coming in even higher. And so areas that didn't used to deal with the waves and the tides in those coastal communities, they're starting to see it. And that's from, again, the rising sea levels. We're seeing that in South Florida at about 3.37 millimeters annually, which might not seem like a lot, but think of it as about half a foot every 50 years. That's 6+ inches, about a foot, over a foot every 100 years, and it's all been sped up since about 1970. NOAA says we're experiencing that with our king tide cycles, and king tide cycles will eventually become our normal day high tides. And so because of global warming, we're already getting those impacts. And then you factor in the stronger storms, you factor in the choppier waves on top of king tides, and we're seeing those extremes from the coastal erosion. Now, annually, about $500 million are spent on property loss and land loss from these extremes that we're seeing. Now, there is mitigation, and we do have mitigation with seawalls, with mangroves, but development has taken out some of those natural mitigations like mangroves. And so now we're just relying on beach replenishment, where we take the sand from the ocean and try and bring it back up and dump it along our coastal communities. And the impacts from sea level rise are just going to keep taking that away, and it's going to keep being a problem down the road, and it costs millions of dollars to do that. So beach erosion, surge, it was the extremes that we saw this hurricane season, and it's going to be the extremes that we see going forward.
And on behalf of Steve and John, we thank you this afternoon for joining us for this hurricane season 2022 wrap up. Have a good day.